Hello everyone, and welcome to a slightly delayed Gaming Mysteries. As some of you may know, there was a tad natural disaster type thing going on, and of course I was located within its wrath. Luckily I'm still alive, as far as I know, but it unfortunately delayed the Halloween Gaming Mysteries to a day that is in fact not Halloween. So here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna pretend it's Halloween. It's not November. November is a myth. It's Halloween, god damn it. Scary Finger Puppet Ghost Month lives on in the hearts of everyone. As long as you believe. And with that bullshit out of the way, let's get into the topic at hand after I say some more bullshit. See, before we go any further, I want to say that this is a special video for two reasons. One, we're pretending it's Halloween, and it's fun to pretend. And two, this will be the last Creepypasta related subject I will be doing for Gaming Mysteries. I'm ditching the creepy Gaming Mysteries thing too. Though, to those who have enjoyed the way I handle these topics, don't worry, as I'm making a Creepypasta focused segment just for you guys. You're welcome, but we'll talk about that at a later date. It's unrelated. Now with that other bullshit out of the way, to celebrate late Halloween and the last Creepypasta related thing to appear on Gaming Mysteries, I'm talking about the highly requested, highly talked about, highly has had tons of videos done about it, god damn it, Lavender Town suicides, or Lavender Town Syndrome, or conspiracies. I think suicide sounds cooler though, because if there's anything I associate with suicide, it's Pokemon. Happy Halloween, kitties. Now even though a lot of people out there know what this is all about, much like pretending it's Halloween, we'll pretend no one has ever heard of this. So, as you completely unaware viewers may be wondering, what's this Lavender Town Syndrome I don't even understand your words, Yuriofwind thing all about? And it's a series of stories revolving around cases of Japanese children with varying ages depending on what you read, who had unusual reactions to the Lavender Town theme in Pokemon Red and Green. In Japan. It's said that in some of the original copies of the games that there was a certain tone found in the Lavender Town theme, and this is what caused the unusual reactions. Some of the reactions included migraines, insomnia, irritability, nosebleeds, but most notably, suicides. And yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Lavender Town Syndrome sounds like an antidepressant, so ask your doctor before going on it or you might fling yourself off of a roof like everyone else in Japan does. I've seen the commercials. Also, that was kind of dark, so I'm sorry about that. Though, the song isn't the only thing to cause suicides and the other symptoms, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But we're going to start by talking about the music and the effects it has with the suicide and all scary effects. Now, finding out that the song allegedly caused suicides was discussed in a very long creepypasta that is excellent. Really, it's a legitimately good story, and it's long as hell, so I'm not reading it, but a link to where you can read it will be in the description of this video, because it's just so damn good that you should go read it. Anywho, it's said that there was a secret code included in 104 of the original cartridges of the games that made the music played in Lavender Town made children commit suicide! Granted, as I said, suicides were not the only result of the song, but in the context of this particular story, suicides are the main issue. From here going forward, we're just going to assume that the song could cause all of those side effects, as I don't want to have to bring up a bunch of random mass stories about Lavender Town, and no. Now you may ask, how can this quote-unquote music cause all of these nasty side effects? Well, it's said that in the original copies of the games, the Lavender Town theme contained an extremely high frequency that could only be heard by children and young teens as their ears were not fully developed. Now, of course, I can't help but find a bunch of Japanese kids committing suicide over a song in a video game a little bullshitty, so I had to do some hands-on investigationing. Unfortunately, I don't have any children to sacrifice in the name of Halloween science things, though that'll be on my to-do list for next year. Don't you guys worry. But seeing as that idea is out of the question, I myself will have to discover the truth by listening to the high-frequency version of the song. Some of you may be thinking, but Yuriofwind, you're an adult. And yeah, for those of you who think I'm 15, no, I'm not. Shut up. I'm a mature adult who's talking about Pokemon. God damn it. Anywho, Yuriofwind, adult, you won't be able to hear the frequencies with your adultness. And yes, it's true. I am an adult. And if only children can hear it, you would assume that it wouldn't affect me. However, I'd like to think that I'm a child at heart. A very cynical, sarcastic child with a severe anxiety disorder and depression issues, but a child nonetheless. Plus, I'm the only test subject available, so let's test. And so I tested. I put on my special headphones and listened to the original Lavender Town theme. Then found out it was fake, so I went to a different version that claimed it was the real one, though they could have been lying too. In any case, I ended up listening to various versions of the theme for about 10 or 12 times, and that's when I really started to notice things. I wasn't dead. Shit, I didn't even have a headache. I'm kind of sick of the song in general now, but I'm not dead. Key factor here. Death and headaches aside, I didn't suffer from any of the other symptoms either. Granted, I'm not a child, so perhaps the magical properties of the song evaded me. Or the whole Lavender Town theme causing suicides and shit is complete horse shit, and it totally is, as far as the story is concerned. But music can actually cause some of the adverse side effects documented in the various Lavender Town stories. Thanks to a subscriber that majors in psych, and whose Facebook goes by the name of Team Rocket United, I hath learned these things. Music can affect one's mood, and that mood is what can cause various symptoms. In the case of this story, things like migraines, insomnia, nosebleeds, irritability, and even suicides can all be the result of stress, and a song could cause you stress. So something like Lavender Town Syndrome could happen, but it didn't actually happen. Now we'll talk more about how it didn't actually happen after I go over the other portion of this story, as it was said that not only the music, but certain imagery found in the game, allegedly, also caused various issues and the whatnot. 3 sprites found within the game, all with special ooga booga scary powers. First we have the White Hand, that was allegedly to appear as a Pokemon on the 3rd floor of Pokemon Tower, and it was divided into 4 separate animations, an introduction, an idle, and 2 unknown attacks, listed as Fist and Brutal, and the animation was proven to be hazardous. How was it hazardous, you say? The magic of Halloween, of course. I don't fucking know. No, but this hand doesn't exist. But it is actually mentioned in the game, as there's a girl in Lavender Town that makes mention of some white hand that's supposedly on your shoulder. And you know what? That girl is a fucking liar. And she is on drugs and seeing things that are not actually there. Where are her parents? There are like 3 houses in this town. They've got to be around here somewhere, and they're not doing their job. Next up we have the ghost animation. And it was, allegedly, to be placed in several areas throughout the tower, but the player wouldn't be able to interact with it. So no danger, right? Exactly. But before we get to that, the sprite was examined, and it had 59 frames of animation total, half of which were that of the standard ghost model, but the other frames were comprised of static to produce a fading effect. Yeah. But interspersed with the static lied frames of screaming faces, someone who looked like the Grim Reaper, and several killed corpses. Not sure how you can kill a corpse, as I'm pretty sure they were already dead, so trying to kill them again would be a waste of time. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know these things. But anyways, blah blah blah. It said that due to the brief appearance of these frames, that they were meant to subliminally influence players into becoming more frightened by the disturbing surroundings. Yeah, this is also not in the game, but whatever. And finally, we have the buried alive model. It said, allegedly, that it was to be found in the spot where you would normally fight that Marowak ghost in Pokemon Tower. The sprite itself appears to be a decaying human corpse attempting to crawl out of the ground. I guess this guy is the result of what happens if you don't kill a corpse. Point taken. Anyways, so what would this corpsey dude do? Well, if you beat him, the game would have frozen, so that's boring. But if you lost, the corpse would say, "Finally, fresh meat," and some lines of gibberish, and then he would drag the player character into the ground surrounding him, and it would end with a game over screen, but in the background it would show Captain Corpse eating your character. Kids are gonna love it. What was especially strange, though, was that the cartridge was to download this image to the small internal memory contained within the Game Boy, overwriting and replacing the title screen that would normally appear when you turned on the Game Boy. this is also, surprise, surprise, not true and bullshit. So there we have it. Lavender Town Syndrome is false. Some of you are saying, I already fucking know. Stop talking about this and talk about some goddamn Half-Life 2. You mentioned it in that fucking Ben video, and I didn't forget. Do it. And look, I'm glad you remembered that. You get a gold star. I don't know what you're going to do with it, but you get one. But we're not talking about Half-Life 2 right now. Go sit down, please. But yes, some know it's false, but others are all like, oh, no way, bro, it's real. I heard the song and I got a headache, and then Sonic flew out of the TV, and oh man, and a bunch of kids in Japan killed themselves. To which I say, oh, they did? And Sonic, wow. Is there some, I don't know, news article that documents this? To which these people would respond, no man, because you see, cause you don't get it, because it's this giant cover-up by Nintendo, man. It's this conspiracy. I'm high as fuck. Really? This whole thing is just a giant cover-up conspiracy, Eh? No, that's not how things work. Let's think about this for a second. You have a large group of children who allegedly kill themselves. Kids killing themselves. Now, the news tends to report on that kind of stuff. You know, large amounts of children dying, because that's good for the ratings or the selling of newspapers. And yet there's not one official news article on this. Not even in America. And look, I've seen enough news in this country to know that we cannot keep our noses out of other people's business. So, if a bunch of kids committed suicide over a video game, a popular video game targeted towards children, that came out in the 90s, a decade that kind of had a bad thing happen, that video games got blamed on, and Marilyn Manson, the news would be all over that shit, but there's nothing. And now we come back to but it's a cover-up and I'm still so fucking high. Bullshit. Except for the you being high part, that's probably still true. Nintendo, nor any company, would ever be able to properly cover something like this up. Especially with the internet around, because, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but everything is on the internet. We're on it right now. See? You can't escape its grasp. It's everywhere. Nintendo could pay off everyone involved in this imaginary suicide case, and word would still leak out somehow. And that's the internet doing its job. So without actual proof, Lavender Town Syndrome holds no merit. As I said earlier, the music thing could be a possible issue, but this syndrome, conspiracy, suicide thing just didn't happen. Though, even so, as far as gaming creepypastas or urban legends go, this one certainly takes the cake. As I've said in the past, what makes a good creepypasta, or even urban legend, is when it has that sense of plausibility. And going into Lavender Town Syndrome, on its surface level, knowing nothing about it, it does give a vibe of, oh my god, this actually happened, and Nintendo covered it up, and life no longer makes sense to me. You know, your life is ruined. And there are people who actually believe this, and who ask if it's real to this day, which is probably why so many people like to talk about this. It's that or they have nothing better to do. And hey, I know I don't have anything better to do. Hi guys. But that was Lavender Town Syndrome. I hope you guys enjoyed this quote-unquote Halloween special, because it's totally Halloween right now. It's not November. October 31st. With this, we're done talking about creepypasta-related stuff on Gaming Mysteries. Oh, sad. Though I'll keep you guys posted on that news segment for this kind of stuff. In any case, I hope you enjoyed the video. Happy late Halloween. Hope no one died from that stupid hurricane. This has been Gaming Mysteries. Thanks for watching.